You've all been dunked.
What's it? Are we on? Are we now alive?
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dale, man.
It's Dale.
What in the world?
Keep it going, man. I'm now hearing the bass in the back. Ooh, look at that organ. It's like another layer every time. Is he adding stuff to this as we're going?
Hey guys, it's Cody.
Hey guys, what's up?
Whoa, that'd be cool if you could speak through SoundCloud.
Oh,
This is the German spa one. German sex.
what is it called? Trap music? Or what was it? Not trap music.
Hello and welcome to Sprockets.
Welcome to the basketball show.
Welcome to basketball. Welcome to basketball. This is us.
We want to talk the basketball to you.
You just did Vlade in a different voice.
I did.
Russell Westbrook, tear down this wall.
All right. That's all.
That's all.
Let's-
Dum boom doop doop boo doop doop bow. Bum, boom, doop, boo, doop, doop, bow, doop, 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 boo, doop, doop, doop.
That's my favorite current karaoke song.
Oh, really?
Whenever I do it, I tear the roof off the mother.
This is the ass code. It's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Just let you know. I mean,
It's probably not the easiest karaoke.
and to do it really well, I've got to get super into it, which only makes it better.
All right, let's get rolling.
Have to.
Have to.
Taylor, how's the pottery business, man?
Pottery?
It's good.
Pottery?
Very busy right now.
Is it good?
I mean, it's not like I can live on it yet, but I'm very busy right now, which is better than this time last year. So I think that
When
means
you
good
couldn't
things.
live by it on it and you weren't busy.
Smoky.
Right.
Smoky. That was when I couldn't even
McPot.
pay for it. It wasn't even paying for itself.
Did it? No, you're still working. Where are you working on the side?
OCU.
Are we
Monday,
starting
Tuesday,
to talk
Thursday.
about?
Is that good? I mean, you
more
liking doing that?
the before? Take off.
What do you just sit there?
Well, are we on YouTube right now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've already talked about it. on the
Okay,
pod.
Cool.
Well,
Cool.
Basically, they hired me to help with their
Clerical work?
accreditation.
Oh, yeah. That's
report.
Oh, God.
Sorry. Oh, congrats. We're excited for you.
Wow. Basically, they hired me to help with their accreditation report. God, I love it. I guess if we're using
Yeah,
that, we can probably use
Yeah.
anything.
I've already
We
mentioned
do.
it on 2 pods.
We charging for that?
The 7-hour pod.
We charging for that?
I actually recorded that myself.
Yeah, that's in Andrew's studio.
Well, that's
Will you go get some napkins, man?
that's dope.
Is anyone else going to get napkins?
No.
Yes, I will.
No one else spilled that.
Yeah, I mentioned it at the end of the pod. And Alex hadn't listened to Monday's show, which turned into Tuesday's show. And I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be sure to come out to our 7-hour pod."
Alex
He was
goes, "Dear God!"
like, "He's like, what?"
Well,
Whose idea was that? And he goes, "Well, it was actually going to be way worse than that."
24-hour pod is real.
Luke, we'll just let you take like the other. What would that be? 17 hours in the day.
They can be for dog pod.
You just sit at
You
your.
can do the dog pod.
Hey, what's up? This is Dale, man.
This is Dale, man.
What's up? It's me. It's Dale, man.
Hey, can we break it up into like either 40-minute, like
Give little breaks.
content segment, or you already got it? No.
Yeah, we're doing
Straight hours.
hour
All
by
right.
hour.
We can all rotate in and out, though. That's what I'm thinking. Like when a guest comes on, like one of us can rotate out.
My wife most definitely does not think I'll be there on Saturday, but I'm gonna be there. I'm having back surgery on Wednesday. Not sure I told y'all that.
Yes.
So
What are you getting done? Are you getting the discs confused?
no, nothing major. It's like a
Poking around?
shaving off part of my spine.
Cool.
You're
Cool.
gonna be on drugs.
Cool.
Which no,
You're
I
not.
don't do painkillers, man.
What?
I don't do like narcotic painkillers.
You just drink a bunch of alcohol.
yeah, because you can't take painkillers. No, ibuprofen is literally. I'll take lower tab, not feel any better. Take ibuprofen,
Oh, really?
immediately better.
I'm kind of the same.
Wow.
Tylenol doesn't
Weird.
do anything
Nope,
for me.
I hate
Ibuprofen does.
acetaminophen based. Plus my liver. All right, let's do this, guys. My liver. My liver.
I'm Stephen Adams.
Okay, we got
This
it.
is Down
We
to
got
Doug.
That was a good.
Quiet
song.
on set.
I'm Steven Adams. Kissing him.
It's only a little bit funny. All right.
I'm Stephen Adams. This is Down to Doug. I'm miffed and peeved. That's not the words. What do I say?
Hello, I'm Alex Sabrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm about to dunk. I'm not miffed and piffed. Hello, I'm Alex Sabrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm down to dunk.
I'm Stephen Adams. I'm not miffed and peeved. I am down to dunk.
Yo, this PG and I'm down to dunk.
Good morning and welcome to episode 5, 8, 9 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on CLNS Media, dailythunder.com-radio at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or of course, anywhere you subscribe to your podcasts. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew,
Ham brew.
Taylor,
How can I live without you? I want to know. How can I breathe without you? If you... Ham brew. Yeah. I forgot the word.
and Jay.
It's Jay.
What is it? If you let me go.
I don't know.
If you ever go.
If
you
you
ever-
ever go. She's retiring.
Leanne Rhymes? Who's that?
Shania?
Oh, God.
Shania Twain? I'm wrong. Shania Twain?
I don't know who that is.
Is it Leanne?
I have no
I think
idea.
it is.
I think it's Shania.
I think you're right. It's not Shania. I know Shania.
Well, whatever.
Hey, if you're listening at home,
Yeah.
tell us.
Hit us up
No,
on YouTube. Yeah, it's
what's her
Leanne
name?
Rhymes.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah,
I thought it was
I knew it.
the girl who does the Titanic theme. The
Oh,
woman.
Celine Dion?
excuse me,
Celine Dion? Oh, wow.
Retiring?
You are way
Dang.
off.
She is. Well, she's retiring from
She's got
her,
an ear condition, bro.
Wow.
her ears are falling off.
Guys,
Terrible.
It's very odd.
All
cool.
her pets' heads are falling off.
guys, I know you're talking about
Guys.
I'm so glad you sang, by the way.
Celine Dion and
I
all
miss it.
this because you don't want to talk about the most recent Thunder news because it makes you sad.
It does.
It literally makes us sad.
So,
Every time.
Luke, tell us what happened.
okay, I'm just reading this tweet from Eric Home. Okay, a Thunder spokesman informed media Thursday night that Andrew Roberson.
What did he say? What does he say?
Eric Home.
Eric Home.
The R and N went together. Eric Horn. F you guys.
He's been covering the Thunder for like 4 years.
It looks like home.
But
He is,
Uh,
he is
Thunder-
the Thunder
a-
beat writer.
A
For the,
Thunder spokesperson informed media Thursday night that Andre Robertson had a setback in his rehabilitation from left patellar knee surgery. He will be reevaluated in 2 months.
I'm glad you didn't put the alien ant farm on there.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, and then he goes on to say a suture was irritating Robertson's left knee, creating discomfort. Robertson had a procedure. Stupid sutures. What in the
Who
world?
did this?
There's so many weird. Every time there's a major surgery with the Thunder, there's always something like this.
Yeah, I feel like
it happened with Russell.
I don't know who they use.
It happened
but
with
they
KD.
should stop.
They're all using
Who
different
is it?
guys.
Is
They
it?
are.
I mean, but
I think their
Still-
people get to pick who they
it's
use.
yes, they do, and it's weird. It's weird. They can use the Thunder docs if they want, but they usually don't.
What's going on?
And then it usually doesn't work. And I'm sure the Thunder docs are like, "This is
This is why
ridiculous.
you use us.
it's not good because the Thunder he's an elite defender. We know who he is. We're anticipating him being back sometime in November, and it's a big setback for this team. Big opportunities for other guys, certainly, but over the course of these preseason games, I think we're going to hopefully see that one of these guys stands out more than another. But right now, they're all just kind of okay NBA players. But it is interesting that we get to see what the process looks like for the coaching staff to start the season rather than in the middle of last season when he went out and they didn't have any idea what to do. And they're like, we'll just get Corey Brewer and just we'll see what happens. Now they have time to plan. They actually have a new coaching staff for the most part around Billy Donovan. And so I'm a little bit excited to see what they're able to do and which one of these guys kind of rises to the occasion, because there's way more competition than there was last year. I mean, you had Ferguson, who was a rookie. You had Abrinas, who was kind of in and out with injuries, which he still is. And you had Josh Eustace, who was kind of terrified to be on an NBA court. And so I think they have better options this time around, but it's still not a good thing for this team.
This sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks. I'm tired. Like I'm really not interested now to see who fills in or what these players look like.
You're not interested.
Not in this not like in place of Roberson because he's injured for 2 months. I'd rather Roberson be there and then see who actually makes the team, like in proper rotation minutes, in a way that is that we will need and that's valuable in the playoffs. Because there's like, you might start Abrinas and he might be really good, but when Roberson's back, he's not going to start anymore, and then it throws off. Like, does that throw off how he plays with the players that he's rotated in with now and stuff? You know what I mean? Like, I don't. I feel like that every year there's something like this, and we get to see these other players play, and then when the guy comes back, it's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I think about this, I don't know. I've been excited about the rotation since we started collecting all of these wings, right? Like, we never knew who would be the one that rose to the top. I would agree with Andrew in the sense that they should have a better plan to go forward than they did last year. And I'm kind of to the point where, like, this is not an excuse anymore. The Jazz didn't have Gobert for about the exact same amount of time last year.
Yeah.
And ended up being just fine. Like, they ended up figuring out how to win games without him. And that I think they didn't lose Gobert at the preseason. They lost him, a few games into the season, if I'm not mistaken. So there's no excuses. I'm tired of that. Like, this team should be good without Dre. Like,
yes,
maybe it's not as good as it could be defensively, but with one of those wings, which I still think, I'll be very surprised if it's not Ferguson, with one of those wings, like, they should be a team. They should still have a pretty good record by the time Dre comes back mid-December.
Agreed.
Like, I can't handle it. It's like, dude, Dre was good. He's probably the best perimeter defender in the league. Kawhi being the other one. But you should be able to survive that and not be in the basement of the NBA.
His importance is, in a way, overstated. And I think that the stark contrast between last season when he played and then when he went out is more of an indicator of the problems this team had last year, paired with losing Dre, and not just only losing Dre.
Is this the end of the world?
Yes. Yeah, but I think you hit the exact point that matters is the way this team is all over the place anyway. Just was amplified when Roberson went out.
Wasn't there to fix those issues.
And just truthfully, like, from what everything looks like, if Patterson's in that starting lineup, then you're only, I mean, I don't know, there's just more space for a kind of sub defender to be on the floor, because Patterson is so much better than Melo was.
Oh, yeah. Especially this version of Patterson.
Yeah. So he's so much better defensively, to where it's not all on Adams to just make up for both. Because really, at that point, Adams was making up for Russ, which he's used to, Dre's position, which he wasn't used to, and then he was also making up for Melo's position. Like, that's really what it was. Him and PG were both trying to do both of those things. And so, and you also hope with both
well, if anybody that's going to make that starting spot, Ferguson, Abrinas, TLC, probably I think that would be the top 3 options.
Schroeder.
Yeah, Schroeder. I think any of them, you're going to see, hopefully, all of them are better defensively than they would have been last year. Like Ferguson really improved later in the season defensively.
Yeah.
True.
Like I said, I'd put $1,000 on Ferguson being the starter.
Yeah, I agree.
It does seem that way.
But it's just one of those things where I think the expectation with Ferguson is Ferguson, number one, at least has the effort, has always put the effort in to be a good defender, which is over half the battle. But the other thing is he should have, at least over this course of the summer and in his year of growth as a rookie coming into the season, he should be ready to play that position in a way that it's not that enormous of a minus. Plus, he's still, I mean, I think Ferguson, from what I saw briefly in the Pistons game, even though he didn't shoot for like 20 minutes of playing, he's very confident in his shot. Like I think he hit 2 there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And it was really not, and he never thinks about it when he shoots it, but it really came off
No,
confident.
and I liked that he didn't force anything. He was on the floor for 20, I think it was 22 minutes, something like that, 21
I think it was
minutes.
closer to 28.
Really?
I'll pull up
That
the box
long?
score. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
oh
on
my
the court for a
gosh.
long
I just
time.
remember a tweet where I think it was Brett Dawson was like, and Ferguson still has played 17 minutes without a single shot. So that's why 17 was in my head.
But it didn't feel like he was passing shots up. That's the thing, is I felt like he was moving the ball and knew his role was you're not supposed to take this ball and do something with it and create your own shot.
Yeah. And the other thing I would say about that is that offense was so odd.
Yeah, it was.
Because it was just like, number one is you can't really take much other than maybe some rotation preferences from that Detroit game. And we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But literally the offense was pick and roll with Steven Adams and Dennis Schroeder.
Well, that was the only thing that would work. Whenever they would go away from it, nothing would happen. So then Schroeder did pick and roll with Adams again, and it worked every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I really liked what Ferguson did the other night. And a lot of people, it's easy to criticize him for some reason, but what they had him do in summer league, you saw it, you saw kind of the byproduct of that the other night, is that he was
byproduct
driving to the basket and not having tunnel vision. Because last season it was, I'm going to commit to doing something, whether it's driving to the basket, shooting the basketball, whatever it is, I'm just going to do it. And you saw him thinking the game at a higher level. He drove in, saw that he didn't have the lane he thought he did, back to back out, and threw the ball to Patterson in the corner for a 3. He did the same thing a couple times, not ending in an assist, but just knowing when to do something and when not to. And so just showing that, I think, is a huge improvement for him, because last season it was just he's going to shoot it, he's going to drive, and that's all that was going to happen. And so I thought his game was really nice the other night. I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward, but I do think that he's the guy. I think that maybe Abrinas could be. I think less of TLC the more I watch him play. But I think it's going to be Ferguson.
Well, and especially if you want to plug and play a guy next to Paul George and Russ, and even Steve some, you want a guy who's not going to waste any offensive possessions.
Ferg played 34 minutes the other night.
That's a long time. And so if he can go in there and not waste possessions like what you're talking about, like Jeremy Grant sometimes can waste valuable possessions when Russ and PG are on the court with him, you know. But yeah, I think Ferguson will end up being that guy for that reason, especially if he can just stay in front of his guy on defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I had my preference, this is why I'm not betting this way, because Billy has never shared my preference for majority of the guys on this team. But if I had my preference, I think Alex is still my favorite for that spot. Alex passes well. I think I know he's a better shooter.
Yeah.
Even in his spotty moments against the Pistons, like he was still, I mean, anytime he shot it, is like every time he shoots it, you think it's going in, right? Versus Ferguson, where it's like, maybe. Which maybe changes this year. Like it really did after the All-Star break last year.
They both of their shots look
really
money.
For real. Yeah. Tons of
look
confidence.
good. Yeah.
Great. I mean, everything looks good about it. TLC was a guy, I liked a lot of what he did on the floor. He just maybe can't shoot the ball. And we don't need another one of those.
He's gonna be streaky.
Yeah. And one of the things you saw against the Pistons, which I don't know if this is indicative of anything going forward, but you did see TLC was playing the small forward position, which is positionless basketball. I get that, but It was. There were some lineups where Schroeder, Ferguson, and I think they started the
That's
second,
what they
maybe the
said.
whole start and first and second half. I only
Yes.
watched it. I only got to watch second quarter on, but it was Schroeder, Ferguson, TLC, Patterson, and TLC's fine. Like I think he's going to be
He's
a guy
okay.
that's he's going to get minutes.
Yeah.
But if I was going to bet, like I said, my house on
You're
it,
a betting man
I
today.
would absolutely bet on Ferguson being the starter.
Yeah. Who do you? Okay, we can go around the horn. Who do you
Abrinas.
want to be?
Abrinas.
Probably Ferguson.
I will say TLC.
Oh, why?
Just because
Because you're talking about like not a great shooter, gonna be good on
it makes
defense.
sense. Like he's
I want
Roberson.
him to slot in and just be Roberson replacement. So
Yeah.
like it's not anyone that's like good to like people that are going to be in the second team are going to remain on the second team all season, and he slots in there as the most like easy. He is Roberson.
That actually makes sense. You kind of talked about that with like it being how Houston was, where it's like Houston was either not playing or starting
Yeah,
last year.
and that's what I want to happen.
Yeah,
Abdul Nader.
I'm not a huge believer in TLC as like a defensive stopper or anything close to that. And so to me, I'd rather have the shooting. I'd rather see if we can get more out of
I'm about to dunk.
and see if he's about to dunk.
Yeah, I think the other thing we're going to be super surprised by is the amount of minutes that Hamidou Diallo is going to play, especially early.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Ray Felton when Russ gets back. I don't know what they're going to do with Diallo when Russ gets back, because somebody's going to lose basically all their minutes when Russell comes back, and it's going to be one of I don't know if Diallo is going to play, but I thought that he was all right.
Yeah, he doesn't look lost, and that's the key for me for a rookie.
Did you see his air ball?
No, I did. Maybe I did miss that one part.
So he got this steal, fast break. He's got a defender's right in front of him. He stops for a pull-up jumper at the free throw line, and it just barely sails over the head of the defender. Just air ball. It was really bad.
All that is overthinking it.
It was really bad.
And that's the thing about rookies, like to have a rookie that has a role on a so the most rookies that are going to be impactful are going to play for teams where it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right. Like Marvin Bagley. I'm watching him last night.
Or they're OG Anunoby.
Yeah. A rookie that can impact winning is a very rare soul.
Yeah.
Those guys don't really exist.
Yes. And so a guy that comes into a team that is immediately, and the Raptors are odd. Like I think there's a difference in the expectation for somebody coming to the Thunder versus the Raptors, right? Because the Raptors are constantly the team, especially last year and this year. Raptors are constantly the team where it's like, yeah, they'll be good, but who knows what they'll actually end up doing, right? So there's that, and I'm kind of reaching a little bit with this, but I think with OG, number one, is he's different. He was different. I mean, he was obviously a way better talent than
He's
the
awesome.
20 whatever.
Good
he
at
ended up being.
shooting, and he was good on defense
Yeah.
immediately.
But for guys that come in on a team, like you watched it with Sabonis, where Sabonis, by the way, watching him a little bit in highlights against the Rockets,
He's good.
dude,
He's so good.
Holy moly.
He's
Anyway,
great.
so, but you watched it with that, like there's the thing that gets these guys is not always their talent or ability. It is so much more mental because it is terrifying to try to beat. You have to have like this above and beyond, almost ridiculous confidence in yourself to be, which most guys seem to have, but then they get on the floor with the group. Like there's a ton of pressure put on themselves to be an immediate impact player for these teams. And so, you can at least tell from the rotation in the blue-white scrimmage, which doesn't really matter, but kind of matters. And then you can definitely tell from that Pistons game that the team is high on, and also they gave him a guaranteed deal, that they're high on Hamidou Diallo.
On crack.
You can tell. Like anyway, so I think,
like him.
I think he's going to be somebody that you may see, especially early, especially if Russ it's out any longer amount of time, which I do not foresee. I don't know if you're hearing anything through the organization, but
I don't think.
I think
he'll be
4
out
weeks
long.
is this week, right?
Will you tell us what where PG was?
Oh yeah.
Where?
CC's Pizza.
His girlfriend put on Instagram that her dad died.
Oh man.
And so that's what everybody assumes. There wasn't anything official, but
Yeah.
So Yeah.
You just kind of wish that like PG would have taken that game a little more seriously and shown up.
Yeah,
Okay.
come on. buddy.
We also don't know what Abdul Nader, like where does he fit into this equation, because he's been out with some soreness.
Right.
And so is he going to be ahead in the rotation of Hami? Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Like,
Maybe.
he could be. I really have no idea.
What is Nader's? He's so much bigger. It seems like than a. I thought he's more of a 4.
He's a forward. He's a wing.
Okay.
To me.
Okay.
But we'll see. I really have no idea. I don't know why they didn't play Deontay Burton at all the other night. Maybe they'll play him a ton tonight.
That's exactly
in
how I think it'll
Minnesota.
happen.
I still love him.
Dude, he's good, man.
I think
Dude plays with confidence. Like, he's the guy that it's like, you know what he's not going to do is airball a shot on a. He's not going to do that. Number one, he's also going to fly by that guy and just smash on the entire universe.
Yeah, he's just going to jump over him.
And
He's
dump
going
on
to
him.
jump over him.
Hey guys, let's run through some Twitter questions related to the Pistons game. At R Warren Beck wants to know if, based on the Pistons game in training camp, if we can tell anything about wing rotation, surprise impact players, etc. Taylor, what do you think?
Training camp.
We just talked about this.
Well, I know, but so talk about it.
I'm not talking about
Anybody
anything.
else you're excited about? Like,
No.
anybody you've seen that anything we can come from that you would take?
I think Patrick Patterson's going to be really important for this team this year. I really do. He looks great. He moves better. His shot looks so quicker. His shot looks fast.
Yeah, it does.
And he just looks so much more confident. And I
Dude.
think him not having to worry about like the mellow thing anymore, and he had surgery last summer, correct?
He had surgery like
he was
a few weeks before training camp.
Yeah, he was playing into shape the first half of the season, and he had to figure out what to do with Melo, and he wasn't hitting shots. Like,
he was out for training camp, and his first game back in was the first game of the season.
yeah. I
There's
think that
no way. Yeah.
I just think he's gonna be a big deal for this team this year.
All right, our next Twitter question comes from at
Oh.
Zach Diesel 18.
Good job. You answered it.
Who wants to know or says that Dennis Schroeder seems to be living up to his nickname of Schrudabega because Rutabagas are his favorites. His question is, Schrudabega and Kiwi seem to have nice chemistry, don't you think?
I thought the effort in this question was worth it.
Is that true?
I don't think it's his nickname, but maybe. Is it?
No.
It
All
is
right.
now.
I like
Schruder-
that.
Schrudabega.
Schrudabega. I
What
don't
if
even know what a
this person-
rutabaga is, by the way.
What is a
it a
rutabaga?
vegetable?
I think it's a root,
root?
vegetable. What are those called? A root vegetable. I think.
Root. Looking it up. Yeah, it's kind of like a beet.
Mm.
It's like a radish. It's a cousin
Kind
of the
of, yeah.
radish.
Yeah.
Gross.
Maybe he really does like rutabagas. Maybe this is something we don't
It's
know.
very possible. Anyways, their chemistry was on point. the
It
other
is
night.
so visible. And the thing I've really appreciated about Schroeder is he seems like he is constantly trying to learn from Billy Donovan.
Student of the game.
Like, it's weird.
Ooh.
Like, he'll come over and
Ooh,
he's like
student of
really
the
like
game.
when you're used to
Yeah.
Russ, where he just is like, you know, like stone face, like I'll do what I want to
Screw
do.
you guys. I
But
know what
Schroeder-
I'm doing.
I can already see underneath the layer of people that actually are like normal fans. I can see this growing sentiment among mainly the sports animal of people that are going to be like, you know, I think this team
Man.
I had that same feeling.
maybe. I mean, it's like the Eric Maynor world again. Like,
Yes.
Russ won the MVP 2 years. You're like, wow, Russ, Dennis Schroeder's actually a better facilitator. I can feel it because there are times where it's like
God.
he is,
It's gonna happen.
no.
It's gonna
Yes,
happen.
Lord.
he's more
It's
he's
gonna
more
happen.
pass first than Russ is, which is crazy to say that because Russ, you know, is average more.
Which is
assists than
funny
anybody,
because
but
he's not. He's really
I know,
not.
I know,
mean,
but I can
he-
already. Could you see it in that
Yes,
Pistons
yes.
game where it's
no,
like
I thought the same thing.
Oh.
Like,
Took 16 shots in 26 minutes.
it
I'm
just
like,
feels different because it's not Russell, right?
Okay.
So I don't know. I think
he's more patient than Russell is, like in the pick and roll.
mhm.
Like, Russell is, I'm going to just ram this down your throat kind of thing. And he's more like, I'm going to kind of weave my way in and out of this pick and make the
Yeah.
right decision. He's been really impressive.
but don't you think that their chemistry? I thought that their chemistry was so good like that because Dennis does kind of play like a Russ
Very
light,
similar.
and maybe Steve is just comfortable with that kind of point guard play.
And it
Yeah.
feels like they're trying really hard to maintain, like, to build chemistry. And actually, there's another question a little bit later. I'm going to jump to it and we'll come back. But at Thunder Borakua, Said everyone's excited for Dennis and Adams connection. How much should we expect to see it when Westbrook comes back? And how do you stagger those lineups? You briefly mentioned it on Wednesday's pod, is that there's a chance that I would, and I think I'm with you on this, is that I would bring Adams out earlier, a little bit earlier. If you, especially, if you're confident in Noel or if it's going to be Grant that's the one that's coming in, I'd bring him out a little bit earlier and then let him run a little bit more with Schroeder.
I think we'll see it.
I think so.
I think Schroeder's going to play a lot,
especially early.
Oh, early,
God,
yeah.
he looks
But even when
good,
Russ
man.
comes back, I expect to see him play a lot. I think one thing that we saw, and you could see it just in that first preseason game, is that Schroeder is
Oh,
easily one of the best 4 players on this team.
yeah.
I mean, there was no question in your mind. I mean, I think I mentioned this on the pod, but some people mentioned like there may not be a huge difference between Ray Felton and Dennis Schroeder, and I was like,
Those people have
I don't
lost
think that's
their
true,
minds.
but you saw the stark contrast whenever he went out of the game and Felton came in.
The whole offense just screeching halt.
Right. And you just saw all those shooters. You saw any wing, and it was Abrinas a lot of times standing there wide open as Ray Felton dribbled into his mid-range jumper.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, over and over and over again. And Schroeder's not going to do that.
No.
And so it made me really excited for what the potential of the second unit could be. Because there were times last season where the second unit moved the ball better than the starters did. But a lot of times it was just the Ray Felton show. I mean, Ray took, what did he take? He took 14 shots
against the Pistons
the other night. Yeah, in 19 minutes. I mean, he got his
He's
own.
trying to keep his spot.
Scored 12 points on 14 shots. I mean, it's pretty good.
You kind of can depend on him to like shoot.
Here's what I think. I think that he
can score. He scores. when
I
he
like
wants
him.
to.
I like him as a secondary ball handler and as a more of a 2 guard than I do as like a backup point guard. And I think we're going to see that.
Yeah.
He is going
especially
to
early.
play.
Especially early.
And that's why I think like Diallo may not play, because where the minutes going to be, he may take minutes away from Alex Abrinas. Like that's a sincere possibility.
I
we
almost
see
grabbed
that
my
happen.
microphone and threw it against the wall.
I'm just telling you.
I know, you're right.
Billy likes him, and he's going to play. And I think he'll be better. He was really good on spot up threes last year, and so he may be pretty good in that role actually. So
He's not bad.
he's also
Ray
He
Ray,
doesn't hurt your
dude,
team.
I have, this is my stance on Ray Felton. He may not be bad, but sometimes I wonder whether he's actually good for the team.
I
like,
would
because
say
he takes, especially in that Pistons game, you can't say anything about it, right? Like it's
you
preseason game. Everybody's out. Like it's a weird. It just was weird. Like everything about it felt weird. Michael Cage just took over. It was just weird.
Yes.
God, that was terrible. Also, he really was making a point to pronounce Timothé Luwawu Cabarro every time he said it like that.
It's also preseason for them, I'm hoping.
It is.
So
yeah, certainly.
but the thing is Ray, like it still was the same Ray, where it's like he's not going to pass the ball, or he's going to shoot. Guaranteed
day.
he's going to shoot this ball. And so, but the thing
Yeah.
is that does make me a little bit more excited about that is the fact that when Russ comes back and Schroeder moves to your secondary, like those moments with Ray are going to be very, very few and far between.
just not as many possessions for him to take and
Mhm.
make that way.
You wouldn't start Schroeder at the 2.
Do we have a question about this on the doc? I know somebody asked.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm willing to try whatever. I think they're going to close that way, for sure. But I don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't know about.
There's such
starting.
sticklers to, well, and especially like early, you want to try to,
You want to stagger those minutes. You want to keep a good point guard,
and you want
at
to
all
try to
times.
maintain kind of what the team could look like. Like you don't throw it all out just for an injury in the first 2 months of the season.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen to start the game, but it's that lineup will almost certainly close games.
There should not be any minutes without Russ or Schroeder on the court.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's how it should work.
But Ray, sometimes you got to clear out and let Ray do his thing, you know?
That it will happen.
Not ever.
It will. It will with certainty happen this season, where one of them will be off the court and Ray will be calling his own shots.
The man, baby.
All right, our final question about the Pistons game is from @Raising Oklahoma, who wants to know, is Jeremy Grant still good? He literally looks confused every time he has the ball so far.
I literally get confused every time I'm driving.
He could have said that exact quote every time he's driving.
Every
Because
time
every time
he's
that he was
driving.
driving to the basket, it looked like Jeremy Grant from 2 years ago.
You know, when you were talking about Ferguson earlier and you said he didn't have tunnel vision,
Yeah.
like I'm making a decision to drive. Jeremy Grant, that has always been his problem, is he makes a decision and he goes for it, and it's really hard for him to make another decision.
He looks exactly like he did at the beginning of the season last year.
Yeah.
Like exactly. Now, let me
Yeah.
give you the like real excuses in my mind. Number one is the dude has not played at all with any sort of normal lineup. He played the whole blue-white scrimmage with the Thunder G League team.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. He was the only guy that's going to get real rotation minutes on that side of the ball. Okay. So number one, that. Number two is the fact that like it continued, number one, in the Pistons game, right? Like it was the same thing. But I think that he really is trying to figure out what his role is, since his role came out of kind of a desperation last year.
Yeah.
That's not what they need him to do this year. And so he's playing a lot with Nerlens, which is something they're also trying to get used to, which I mentioned last week in the podcast. And so there's a lot that has changed for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, I mean, you have to wonder, does it change anything in his mind or his game with Patterson being the one that is the starter? Like, does that shape anything?
It might. I also worry about the spacing issue, because a lot of the reason that he could get to the basket is he usually just had that one defender there. And with Nerlens, Nerlens is not going to space out. And so,
although he is shooting a lot of jump shots,
you would like him to be able to hit those and to space his defender out at least a little bit, but they're going to be a lot closer to Jeremy when he gets to the basket. And so he's going to have to adjust his game. It's one preseason game. It's one,
really
blue
bad
and
scrimmage.
white scrimmage. So, I mean, I don't read into it a lot, but it was a little concerning.
Yeah, it is shocking to watch him look so lost. Because for me, you had such high expectations for what Grant would bring to this team this year.
Well, the conversation this summer was who is probably going to be good enough to start, Patrick Patterson or Jeremy Grant. And now through just training camp and how Patrick Patterson has looked in these two quick games, there's not a question that Patrick Patterson is the starter.
It'll be Patterson.
And I think I will say it's because his role is like clearly defined. Like Patterson's is like shoot threes, defend well,
pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Grant's, it's like do Grant things. It's like, what does that mean? It's like I'll shoot some and then hesitate a lot and then try to drive into everybody.
He's definitely their utility guy off the bench, which is a good role for him. He can fill in at the center spot, power forward. He can steal minutes at small forward if you need him to. So I still think he'll be basically the same guy he was last season for this team. I think he'll be better. I think he's had a couple bad games.
Oh yeah, and I think we all convinced ourselves that he would come back, like with the contract and the way he kind of ended the season, and in the stark contrast between him and Melo. Like you kind of had this picture that he would come back this year and all of a sudden be like this borderline all-star level forward, but that's not ever going to be him. And the other thing is to remember is that Grant's the long game here, man. Like Grant is when Noel leaves, if they bring back Enes Kanter, like he's the guy that if they, whatever it is that, and I was not saying it was kind of a joke, but maybe Grant's the guy that next year that rotation thins back out. Like it looks different. Like who knows? Like you're betting on the long game of Jeremy Grant versus just what he can bring this year. But I still, saying all of that, still believe that Grant will figure it out. He's going to be good. He proved that he belongs on this level of expectation last year. And so I'm excited about what Grant can bring still. But he does look confused every time he drives.
Hey, guys, you know what we need to talk about? Anthem beers.
Pew, pew, pew.
We are in the middle of Oktoberfest season.
We are.
And they are great. I got 12 last week, and guess what? I've been drinking them all week, and they're great. Also, their tap room open. We got new liquor laws. That means if you go to a liquor store, you can get them cold.
You can.
If you go to the tap room, it's going to start being open later. And that's great. I love it. I'm very excited. I feel like
I think 10 o'clock on Friday and Saturdays. I think that's the difference.
Is it?
Yep.
Cool. It is great, and they are great.
It is. You know, I found I'm doing this thing where it's like it's so funny if you're from Oklahoma,
Very descriptive.
or if you're from anywhere else and you listen to us, like it is this really confusing. Like, why? What is this big deal? So, like for the first time ever, you can go to a grocery store and get Higher Point beer, like some craft brew
And wine.
and wine.
Vino.
And so I've just like on this like tour of the city, just looking at different places, be like, oh, what do they have? What do they have? What do they have? And I'm not even buying anything. I'm just wandering around aimlessly in these stores. And you know where I found Anthem? Sam's Club.
yeah,
That's
they're
cool.
they're in Walmart, man.
Yeah, how about that?
Sam's Club
I don't
and
shop at
Walmart.
Walmart, but I do go to Sam's Club occasionally.
Same thing.
Get
They
yourself
make-
a pizza slice.
They make
Yep,
a, they
and a
make a
hot dog
mean
combo.
hot dog.
Yeah,
I do.
Put a hot dog on your pizza
but you can find. Okay,
don't do that.
all right.
and put it in your butt.
Why? Everybody just let this sit for a minute with Taylor.
In your butt. Put it in your butt. Hot dog.
Mute 'em,
pizza
mute 'em.
In your
Do
butt.
it.
No,
Okay.
I refuse.
So Anthem, listen, they're going to be available in more places. You're going to be able to find them cold. That means that there are literally no excuses
None.
for
None.
you to not enjoy.
To me, Anthem, I was thinking about this. The seasons, my favorite Anthem beer changes with the seasons.
Mm.
Right now in fall, Oktoberfest.
It's fantastic.
Then we move into the winter months, and I'm an Earl Burroughs guy.
Yep.
Then spring comes, a golden one. Nothing better.
Mm.
Summer, OK Pills.
Ooh.
And that's how my Anthem consumption goes. But they're all good all year round. They're not going to stop
is
selling them because they're
so
great.
true, man.
But right now is Oktoberfest. It is specifically their seasonal this season beer, and it's worth a drink in your mouth.
and it's worth every penny.
Worth every penny.
Whatever they ask for, pay them.
Pay it.
Pay it.
And check out their tap room. Open later. They've got live music on Fridays, and they've got unique spins
York.
on their classics there that you need to try.
And you know what? You know when you can try those? When you come to our after party next Saturday.
Yeah, you should tell everyone about it right now.
We are having next Saturday a 7.
The 13th, correct? Is
The
that the date?
13th.
Yes,
Yes.
October 13th.
From 10 in the morning at the press until 5. 7 hours of podcast action. A new guest every hour,
Maybe.
maybe, if we can swing it.
We'll see.
And afterwards, we're going to have a little after party at Anthem's Tap Room. So it's going to be a lot. I mean, if you want all the Thunder talk you can handle while also having delicious food, delicious drinks at the press, this is the place to do it.
It's the time.
It
Come
is
hang
the
out.
time.
So I'm going to release a schedule. I'm trying to get our guests all lined up for a specific time slot so you can come see your favorite Thunder commentator.
Yeah.
Or you can just come hang out with us
All day.
literally all day.
All day.
If you'd
If
like.
And
you
drink and eat
if-
outside.
you buy
All
me and send over to me food, I will eat it, regardless
Well-
of what it is.
Well, Luke, I think what we're going to do is every hour, you're going to eat something different off of the press menu.
See, I'd love that. It's gonna be really
And I
good.
can too. And maybe like we all can. And then we can talk about it.
I'm up to the
every hour.
challenge. I'm up to the challenge.
An entree every hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A meal every hour?
Maybe it doesn't have to be a meal. It could be like
Seven
Little snack.
meals?
An
Maybe like
appetizer.
an appetizer, starting with an appetizer, and then I'm ready.
Or we can get entrees and I'll split it every hour.
I'm letting you
Then
guys
that's a good amount
know
of food.
if it is in front of me, I'm going to eat it, and because everything at the press is delicious.
So we haven't okayed this with the press yet. We're just making this up.
Well, why? I mean,
No.
we could, even if they don't want to, we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
buy
buy
it every
I'm
hour.
gonna buy 7 entrees. I'm gonna spend a bazillion dollars. Guys, it's gonna be great, and you should come check us out. You don't have to stay for all 7 hours. You're invited to, though. But if you look at the schedule, come see your favorite Thunder commentator. I think we're gonna try to Skype Alex in maybe a video on a video.
I don't know.
board. I don't-
You're
we're-
just like
we're-
making this up on
we're
the fly.
working.
Well,
Yeah,
talk it up. That's
we're
okay.
working it out. We're trying to do as much as we can.
How are you? You were working it out, right?
Yeah.
Andrew, we're gonna
FaceTime.
need you to
What
be a
you
little
mean
more-
is Andrew work this out and make this work.
Yes. But it's going to be great. Come check it out. And afterwards, go to the tap room, have a delicious Anthem beer. All right?
fine.
Do it.
Fine.
All right. Now on to Twitter questions. Our first Twitter question comes from @TheFrozenOkie, who says, Pat was bad at playing center last year because he wasn't strong enough to defend most centers or fast enough to always get past them. Now that he's in better shape, will that change? Should he play the 5 in small ball lineups instead of Grant?
I think the answer to that question is no. He should not. Whether he's in great shape or not in great shape, he's never been a guy that really defends the low post well. I think if you really want to spread the floor out, sure. But for long stretches of time, I still think that Jeremy Grant's your better option as your small ball center.
Yeah, and I think the thing to remember, like something that could be healthy for this team is to not have to play guys into the ground, right? Like you should have the flexibility with this roster where it's not like sometimes Patterson will play 20, 25 minutes and Grant, like they'll split minutes in a way that makes more sense. Patterson has never been really able to guard like 5s. Like that's not his thing. Like
No.
he's exactly what he needs to be. And he's not a specialist per se, but I most definitely think that you don't have to take one guy and make him do 1,000 things if you have other guys can do what they do.
He's a 4.
So
to
pull him if you want to run a small lineup with a single big that's not Steven Adams or Nerlens, throw Grant out there. That's why we have him. And so it's one of those things where I don't think it has to be such a I don't know. I just think there's space for you to be able to just not use guys.
Grant is your
so
versatile.
much, if that makes
Grant
sense.
is your versatile big. And now that you don't have Melo soaking up basically all of the 4 minutes, that's where Patterson's going to be able to get his minutes this year.
And that's a pretty big difference. And that's kind of what I was trying to say in the sense that like you don't have an ego that's going to be like, oh, I have to play 35 minutes. Like, no, you just play what you need to play and you get moved and pulled and like just be flexible with the lineup.
Yeah, and Melo never played the 3 last year for the Thunder. A couple stats to bring to the table from earlier
Throw some
conversations.
stats in my face.
Why? Cleaningtheglass.com lineups that featured Russ and Ray Felton last season were a plus 3.6 on the year, 782 possessions. So that's pretty good.
Wow. Thanks for throwing those stats in my face.
Wow, that's a lot of possessions.
And then, wow, you guys are just the worst. With Russ and Paul George on the court and Melo and Roberson off the court, which is basically what we're hoping will happen to start the season, that we'll have Russ in there. There were a plus 11.6. So in lineups with that included both of them. So there's some optimism there. It's not like this team was just completely terrible without Roberson. So if you take, obviously Melo's not here and Roberson's off the court, there's still some good lineups to be had. So this team can be good. I think a lot of pressures on the coaching staff right now to find the right combinations and to play the right guys.
Yeah, which was a weird reminder in that Pistons game where it was like, just cut the table off.
Yeah, please do.
If you would have seen, you would have been even more mad.
The coaching staff is like I didn't realize how much of a turnover it was. There was like 3 new guys on the bench.
Right.
It's crazy. Crazy. So hopefully,
What did they all get fired?
some guys moved on. Like Adrian Griffin went to the Raptors, right?
Yeah, I would say, holy mackerel.
Luke, seriously, I'm being serious.
Sorry, guys.
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they were kind of asked, or they were encouraged maybe to go get jobs somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think that it was oh no, don't leave us. I
Yeah.
think it was, all right, this did not work out toward the end of the season. And they're not going to let Billy go.
You guys,
So
if you want to go find jobs somewhere else, we would be excited
we
about
need to
that
change
for
something.
you.
Yeah.
We will help you move on.
Darko seems like the one that's Darko, Mark Bryant, and Mo Cheeks. Those are like the
Those are the mainstays. Yeah. They're
All
good.
right, guys, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from wave_in_stretch, who says Abrinas and Tferg are better shooters, but TLC seems to be able to get shots much easier. That is an important skill and more needed with the second unit. Taylor, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree because I think that like other players could shoot that many times if they wanted to as well. Like TLC's shots, he wasn't creating for himself open and good shots. He was kind of just going at the rim or going and shooting with a defender, contesting his shots, and none of them were going in. So I just disagree that we saw TLC providing a valuable skill the other night. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I like I said this earlier. I think TLC is not. I think he can play. Like I think he will get minutes on this team. I think he has to get. I mean, he has to get a shot going, which I guess he's streaky.
Yeah.
But he does do things that make me think, okay,
he can finish creatively around the rim, which is probably something that he has that those other guys don't.
And he slashes a little bit more,
yes,
consistently and effectively than those two guys as well.
Yeah. Also, this one preseason game, y'all.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
True. Let's not
but
overreact to it.
Once again, I think I say this every single preseason. It's like you've been wandering through a desert for so long that your first drink of water is to you're just like, give me all of it. I want to talk about every single minute detail.
And then it's bad for your body and you throw it all up and it makes you more sick and dehydrated.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
wow.
Abrinas is going to be guarded more heavily than a guy like TLC as well. So that's also on the Thunder offense to create those shots, not just on those guys. I mean, all these guys that you're talking about are all going to be spot up guys for the most part. And it's not it's partly their job to get open, but it's more of the offense's job to make sure that they get there. It's more of the team working together to get them there.
And they were not there in game 1 of the preseason.
Son of a gun.
All right, guys. Our next Twitter question comes from @RaisingOklahoma, who wants to know
who was our Twitter question like king this week. You had 4 incredible questions. Appreciate it, Jesse Smith.
And he is a benevolent king. That's not
still wrong.
Word.
Benevolent.
I can't say
benevolent.
Benevolent.
He's a benevolent.
Benevolent.
He's been an elephant.
Yeah.
Benevolent.
Hey, guys,
Angelina Jolie.
I haven't said that word in a long time.
Beowulf.
Or maybe ever before. He wants to know how many times will Melo apologize for taking a long 2 this year, Jay?
It's malevolent. Mellow.
It's maleficent.
Mellow
elephant.
So Melo, game 1, first preseason game, he did his Melo move where he pump faked, stepped inside the 3-point line and shot it. And then I guess you could hear him as he's going down saying, "My bad, Mike." Oops. Here's the thing is Thunder fans, you need to get used to the fact that Melo may be way, way better on offense this year than he was last year. But at the same time, you also realize that he still can't stay on the floor because he's defensively terrible.
Yeah, he'll be better. And also he provides more value in the fact that he's not making $28 million with the Rockets.
Right. If he was making the minimum with the Thunder last year, you'd be pretty excited about what he brought.
Yeah. The value difference is huge.
But still, it's the misnomer. And I know that Mikey did a lot, or McKelly did a lot of this stat digging, but it's the misnomer. And I even heard the Rockets broadcasters talk about it last night. I was watching some highlights from the game. Is that Melo's just going to get way more open shots? It's like, no, he got a ton of open shots and just missed them last year.
Yeah,
ton of open shots.
He missed a lot, and he was wide open. He's just not comfortable in that role, and the Thunder may have gotten him more ready for this role in Houston than people are giving him or the Thunder credit for it, because he played great. Everybody begged him to be Team USA Melo. That's what they wanted him to be, Olympic Melo, and he was. He took more threes than he ever has in his entire career. He made more threes than he ever had in his entire career. And now he's probably going to be better in that role with Houston, because I think that they do execute that offense better than what OKC does. But still, when you are going to close games, I think that your defense is only good as your weakest point.
Yep.
And if he's going to be out there, it's going to be the same. He's a year older than he was last year. He's not going to get better at defense.
No.
His effort level is not going to change. His awareness is not going to change. That's still going to be a big issue when it comes down to playoff time. Regular season, just like Ryan Anderson, they could play Ryan Anderson a ton in the regular season, and he was helpful. That may be the case with Melo. But when you get to the playoffs, are they going to be able to sit him down like they did Ryan Anderson? I just don't think so. Like, is Melo going to take that? I mean, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And so if he's going to be playing, because you're already seeing like the tweets that the Rockets have a new big three, and it includes Melo. Well, he's actually probably like their sixth best player.
Right.
And that, to me, was one of the biggest problems with the Thunder last year, is that he thought he was the third best player, and he played like it in terms of using possession. So he's going to do the same with the Rockets, and eventually it will be a problem.
Yeah, and he can't, and he will apologize a lot probably for taking long twos, because it's like he's trying really hard. But it's just what he's done for 15 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You can't take those habits out of somebody completely.
And Taylor apologizes a lot for taking long twos in the toilet.
I've never apologized for that, and I never will.
It's a hard habit to break. All right, let's move to our next Twitter question.
It's a funny joke.
Who wants? It's from @D_Ray, who says Zach Lowe's league pass rankings had the Thunder ranked at number 15, which is right on the brink of fun and not fun. Will
So true.
this team be fun? And what non-Thunder team is your number one league pass team?
I think he got it right. I think Zach Lowe got it right. Like right there. This team, if Roberson comes back and is healthy and everyone can relax and play to their ability, then they'll be fun. If Roberson has issues, or like some starters have issues throughout the whole year, this is going to be not fun.
I think from the beginning it'll be way more enjoyable than last year.
It'll be more enjoyable than last year. But last year was so not fun that this year they could still be more fun, and it still wouldn't be considered fun.
Yeah. I think
Andrew, what do you think?
I just think the
I know
lack
you
of
hate this conversation.
I just think the lack of pressure is going to help this team play more relaxed. I think you've seen it just in pieces where I think Paul George is going to be maybe the best version of Paul George has ever been. Maybe.
I think without having to be like, oh, is Paul George going to leave? Oh,
I think
like,
that changes,
we have
right?
to put it
Yeah.
together right away, or else we're going to be bad. Or like, so I think it is going to be fun. I think we're higher. I think we're higher than a 15.
So what do
Okay,
you
so tell me this.
Yeah,
I'm going to
go
go
ahead.
through the other teams that are higher than the Thunder, and you tell me if you think they'll be more fun than OKC.
Okay.
Okay.
Philly,
Yes.
Boston.
Yes.
Now hold on. More fun, or is it just like hot?
More fun.
More
More
fun,
fun.
that's the
Not
ranking.
better.
More fun.
to watch.
What's the rank? The
I
ranking
know.
is fun.
I don't know if I think Boston's more fun.
They're pretty fun.
I do.
I do too.
They're
Yeah, I
fun.
do too. That was one. Yeah.
They'll like get in fights.
Who's number
They'll-
one?
Philly. I'm starting with number one.
Okay.
I'm going down the list. See if you agree or disagree.
So it's
Philly,
Boston,
Golden State,
Less
Yeah.
fun.
more fun.
Less fun. I hate them.
I mean, let's
Lakers.
Us. Yeah, more fun.
Denver.
Less fun.
I hate this conversation
Sorry,
because
we're having
for me
it.
it's not more fun as much as it's like who's the most.
Buy in,
For some of
Jay.
them, for the Lakers, it's like I don't know if they're fun or it's just intriguing to watch them.
That's what fun is.
I love that we're arguing on what fun is.
All right, go
You're,
on.
you're
How is
thinking.
that not
Here's the
fun?
thing: you're thinking too much.
I know.
Stop thinking so much.
Lakers,
and just-
fun. Who's next?
Thank you.
Denver.
Less fun.
I think they're more fun.
They're more fun.
They're an
Jokic, fun.
Chicago Bulls at
Less,
number 6.
Ugh.
less fun.
That's BS.
What was his reasoning?
They don't even
Every
have
year,
Laurie
one bad
Markkanen.
team breaks the algorithm using this formula. Whatever.
No,
it's
I'm
wrong.
not. Less fun. It's
That
bad.
team is going to
Plus,
not be
Laurie's
good.
not playing.
No, that team.
You have
sucks.
Levine, Chris Dunn,
Robin
Robin
Jabari-
Lopez,
Jabari Parker.
No, the
Ugh.
team is trash.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
suck.
that team
That's
sucks.
terrible.
Not fun.
Houston,
Fun.
Yeah, more fun.
Milwaukee,
Just
More
because he's
fun.
honest.
Yeah.
Same amount of fun.
Toronto.
I would say, Luke, same amount of fun. That's
yeah,
right.
I think that's probably right.
Toronto, not more fun.
Really? I like that
Same
team.
amount of fun.
Utah.
Donovan Mitchell, man. But here's the
Utah's not. Here's my thing with Utah. Utah's not really fun to watch.
No,
Yeah,
they're not
like-
fun to watch.
They execute well, and they play good defense, and that's not always a fun team to watch.
The only reason that the Oklahoma City Thunder are 15 is because people have seen Russell Westbrook play before.
yeah.
That's it.
New Orleans.
Like, he is a show every time he plays, but
True.
people have just seen it for 11, 12 years, right?
Portland at 12.
Yeah, I always like watching them, man.
Game time.
CJ and Dame all day.
Is it more fun than OKC?
No,
though?
same level of fun.
Same fun.
Here's one that kills me. Washington at 13.
Oh,
That's-
okay, that's wrong.
Yeah, Zach is wrong. Miami
just
Heat
wrong.
14.
Less fun.
You want to watch the Heat play? Maybe if they get Jimmy Butler, then I would
Deion
say
Waiters, that's the
they're
only reason I want to
intriguing.
watch him.
Oh, and Deion's going to be sitting on the bench eating hot dogs like New Orleans Noel did last year.
Deion didn't even go on this trip with them in preseason. They're trading.
And
his
then you
butt.
get all the way to the Thunder. Like, the Thunder are going to be
How?
fun.
I don't know
Yeah.
how, but they're going to.
Thunder are going to be fun, man.
Hey guys,
Especially if some of these wing guys turn into something.
I don't even trust that you guys know what fun means.
That is true.
you know what's fun? You know what's fun to me? Reading a good book.
You know what's fun to me? Analytics.
You know what's
Well, it's fun to be getting out my library card and going on down to the local library.
Yeah,
Having fun isn't hard when you got a library card.
true.
You know what else is fun?
Free.
Just using my
Is that a-
imagination.
Slogan?
Yeah, it was on Arthur.
It was. I think I remember that episode.
Thank you.
All right, guys,
I
let's
really do.
move to the
Weird.
next Twitter question. It comes from @JTBlount2, who wants to know, have we ever listened to the podcast in half speed? He accidentally stumbled across this and the clips of Russ and Jeremy Lamb, and everything else is hilarious in half speed. Everyone sounds drunk at half speed,
Yeah.
they do.
which I think
Hey,
is
man.
hilarious.
I really think Timothy Wow bro.
So
Try
for-
to listen to that in half speed.
So for people
Go back to that moment.
for
and turn
people
it
who are
down.
listening now, right now, move it in half speed and play
and go backwards about 20 seconds.
play the Jeremy Lamb clip.
I literally get confused every time I'm driving.
Now that is a drunk person.
This is probably a good half speed too.
Bang.
Yeah, half speed's funny.
You know what I'm gonna do is talk extra fast. So when you do it in half speed, it sounds like one speed.
We've got to move on to the next
All
question.
right, our next Twitter question would be from @MidnightRoss, who wants to know: would you rather be a character that dies in a J.R.R. Tolkien book movie, or a character that lives in a George R.R. Martin book / TV series?
So
These
that's
are-
either Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones.
Yes, and these are two pieces of pop culture which I know nothing about.
Really?
Yes,
Character that dies in
You've never
J.R.R.
seen
Tolkien.
Lord of the Rings?
I've never seen the third one, and I've never seen The Hobbit.
Okay. I've seen the third. I haven't seen The Hobbit either, but
The Hobbit was great. Also, there are 3 hobbits, guys.
Yeah.
Haven't seen
The
any of them.
desolation of smog.
Bilbo.
There's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
more than 3 hobbits. Never
Yeah.
mind.
So there's 3 hobbit.
I mean, what's your
movies.
answer then? J.R.R.
Filthy
Tolkien?
hobbit.
J.R.R.
Bitches.
Tolkien.
Yes.
It's more like respectable.
Yeah. They're all like not trash people.
Hey,
like
guys,
most of the people.
Do you know who has a really good?
We were
Schmiegel?
literally answering this question, and you weren't listening.
Do you know who
and
has
now
it?
you jumped in and interrupted.
Well, do you know who
us.
has a really good Schmiegel impression? Andrew.
I haven't probably not done it in a decade.
Okay, do it.
Gollum, by the way.
Gollum Schmiegel.
I don't know what to say. I'm trying to think of things that
Say
he says.
filthy hobbits.
Filthy Hobbits is.
Filthy hobbits.
Oh,
That is good.
that's good,
What else
man.
does he
He
say?
also says women be
He
shopping.
says my precious a lot.
That's good. Say Samwise. I think you are in love with Frodo.
Samwise, I think you're in love with Frodo.
That's good.
I told you, it's really good.
Now
Wow.
listen to that at half speed.
Yeah, check that out.
No.
I
Or
once
say,
dressed
you
up.
two, say you two should try kissing.
Hey, come on, man.
This is weird.
You dressed up as Gollum?
I
He
did,
did.
at school.
He
And-
dressed up in a video and was Gollum doing the monologue of the comedian in Nutty Professor. The women be shopping. He did that.
I did an impression of Gollum doing an impression of
The
Of
Nutty
Dave,
Pro-
of
of
Dave Chappelle in Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah, and nobody laughed, which was really great for us later because I got off stage and we were just dying. I was in like a.
It made it better that no one thought it was
Oh my
funny.
gosh! Yes, we were.
Are you like wearing like a loincloth? Like,
Yes, I was in
Yes.
like a flesh-colored diaper for the whole day.
And then like a
basically.
bald, like stringy
Yes.
hair, like
Yeah.
wig. God, it was
It was good.
That
It
was
was
really good.
so
I'm glad
great.
we found this out.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
the whole reason Luke asked that question.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So which one would you rather be to answer the question?
J.R. Tolkien.
Yep.
We Taylor and I both just had that conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
I'd
great.
just rather be J.R. Smith.
A
All
J.R.
right.
Smith book.
Yeah.
Then our last Twitter question comes from @Bangelope, who wants to know: would you rather eat the best version of French fries or the best version of onion rings?
Am I going to be unpopular when I say onion rings?
No,
I think so.
That's what I go with.
I'm going FF.
I'm a French fry guy.
I like French fries too, but when you get a good onion ring, it's good.
So true.
It just depends.
Where do you like your onion rings from?
Johnny's are really good, man.
They're so good. They really are.
And we get them extra
So
well
good.
done. Like you cook them a little bit longer.
So do you like it when you bite into the onion ring, but you don't actually bite all the way through the onion, so it all slithers out of
No, that's
the
the
crust.
one downfall
And
of,
then it's
of
like-
an onion ring.
A
on
bad
your
onion ring.
face and beard just flap, flap, flap. It's gross.
A bad onion ring is really bad.
A bad onion ring can be really bad.
And a bad French fry is still okay.
No. Soggy cold ones, pass.
Well, yeah, I mean like fresh. I'm not talking like out of your refrigerator or something.
Have you ever had 9-day-old French fries? They're bad.
Right.
True.
Even 1 day old French fries,
Yeah.
bad.
Like
Even like 30-minute
yeah,
old
Right.
That's
French
true.
fries.
You got to eat French fries.
Unless you got
quick.
like an air fryer, you're
If
gonna
you
throw
ever-
them back in
yeah.
or
Right.
something.
If you ever decide to put French fries in your refrigerator after, and
Just
then-
throw them in the trash.
just
yeah,
Right.
it never
there's
works.
nothing you can do to make them better.
Wait. Yes. You put them on the skillet. You put a little olive oil in the pan. Refry them. Double fried French fries.
Yeah,
it
you-
works.
Yeah, it's way too much effort.
Too much effort for
It's
French fries.
worth it if you love French fries.
I don't love French fries though. So that's an unpopular opinion. I know that.
Where's your favorite French fry? Favorite French fry?
If
Probably
it's-
Chick-fil-A.
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
They're
Because I think it's the way that they're cut. You get a more, it cooks it through all the way. You
Yeah,
you
they're so
rarely
good.
get a soggy one. The
But I
only-
will
Oh,
say
yeah.
this about French fries: like French fries are really just a way for me to get whatever sauce I'm dipping into my belly.
Unless they're seasoned like really well.
Yeah. But it's like
The Mule's fries.
Mule's
I
fries
haven't
are
had their fries. I
really-
always do onion rings when I'm there.
Oh,
You should
totally.
get their fries. They're really good.
They're
Wow.
very
Or
good.
their
Press.
seasonal side.
Or their
and
season
at the press, their
These fries
fries.
are good.
Oh, dude, I
They're-
want their tots. If you're taking me to the press, give me them tots.
Yeah,
smothered.
Call me a toddler.
I'm telling you, y'all need to come. If you haven't come to the press for some weird reason, next Saturday is going to be a blast.
It's gonna be great.
And you need to order an entree every hour, correct? Is that what
I
they?
think we are going to do
Okay,
that.
all right, good.
Because I think if we have one an hour, but we all share it between
No,
four
just
of us.
you.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
just you.
Okay, I can do it.
I'm gonna.
you
get hungry.
can't. You're gonna die.
I just won't eat the whole thing. I don't have to finish an entree every hour.
Actually,
do I?
You do.
Yeah.
you do.
Oh man.
Happy plates, bro.
Hey, guess what? I'm up to the challenge. Hour 3. I'm gonna be a mess.
Well, now piping into Luke in the bathroom.
Ew.
Guys, it's really bad in here.
I took my fourth entree with me. I've got to finish it still.
You have to finish it.
Hey guys, I have one more
halfway through.
question for you. But before I ask that final question,
Whoa.
I want to talk to you about Oklahoma Shirt Company. They're great. That's who we go to make our Down to Dunk shirts.
Yeah, the beers. They're great.
They're great. Hey guys,
Oklahoma Shirt Company. It's also great.
it's also great. And which is the highest compliment I can pay anything is that it is great. And they are great. They make good shirts. They got their shirt of the month club. $10 a month. Every month, a new shirt. Signing up your first month, you get an introductory shirt. Bing, bang.
Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, Texas, all of them have shirt of the month as well. So check them out. OklahomaShirtCompany.com. You can also, any apparel needs you need. We're going to be looking at some new apparel for the 2018-2019 NBA season. And guess what we're going through?
Oklahoma Shirt Company. You know what they need to get a jump on? Mars Shirt of the Month Club, because we're about to colonize, baby.
Yeah.
It's a vast market.
I don't know if they would ship there necessarily.
Hey, not yet, because no one's there. Once they are,
But they could.
they
They
can.
They could.
And they will, because they're that great.
So OklahomaShirtCompany.com. Check them out. If you have any need for apparel, marketing, anything like that, they'll hook you up. And if they can't take care of you because you have some very, very strange requests, they will find the people that can take care of you.
You know,
Like if you
you know what we
wanna-
need to do?
What?
I just thought of this. We need to make a
I'm about to dunk.
shirt with them.
I am about to dunk.
I'm about to dunk.
So true. I like how all of our shirts, if you wear them in public, our name is like, did they get that shirt from Walmart? If we wear our logo shirt. And then the Sam one makes no sense. The Paul George
No.
chicken fried rice
I don't
one,
wear them because I have
God
to
knows that
explain
makes
them.
no
And I'm
sense.
like, the Paul George one, I'm like, it's this thing. Because everybody's like, I love that shirt. What does it mean?
What is that?
It's like, well, there's
Is
this
that Paul
podcast.
George's
and
face?
Kevin Durant never had boba tea until he went to San Francisco. It's really weird.
I mean, the funny thing
David
about
Chang has a show on Netflix, and
it's it's literally a 5-minute conversation that you have to have, and I've had it a million times.
Yeah.
And I love it.
It's pretty great.
But the shirt is that good that people are always asking. That's a cool shirt, but we have to.
Hey, Luke, who made those shirts for us?
Oh, what the hell?
Oklahoma Shirt Company?
Literally, I use them for any sort of custom printing we do. We use them like
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
work, through anything.
Whatever you need, they got it. They can do it.
And they just great people, great company. Check them out. OklahomaShirtCompany.com.
Amen. Last question for you guys is this: are you miffed and piffed?
Miffed and peeved.
I'm about to dunk.
Taylor?
I'm not miffed, man.
Not at all.
I'm a little too busy to even be aware of if I'm miffed.
Yeah.
I feel emotionally overwhelmed lately.
I think you're miffed about that.
I'm not miffed though. You know, like when you have so much going on that you just become numb to anything that's happening.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how are you doing, Andrew?
I was a little miffed yesterday. I was dropping my son off at preschool and I get a call from my wife and she's like, "There's a snake in our house.
There's a snake in my boots.
There's a snake in our kitchen."
What the?
And I was like, what are you gonna do?" And she's like screaming, and I was like, "You better call our neighbor." And this is where I was GMB'd because our neighbor came over with some tongs,
Ooh.
picked up the snake with the tongs.
Just tongued it away.
Yes,
How big?
I mean
It's a
not a
snake.
big.
It was a
snake.
little garden snake.
Yeah.
Pick that baby up and swallow it.
Would you pick the snake up?
If
With
I
your bare
knew what
hands?
kind of snake it was, yeah.
He used to own a snake.
I've had 2 snakes
Oh
in my
yeah, I
life.
forgot about that.
Snakes? No problem, man.
Luke, would you pick up the snake barehanded?
There's not a chance.
What would you do if there was a snake in your kitchen?
I'd call you and go, "No, there's a snake in my kitchen." What, dude? I'd call my neighbor.
I'm gonna call my neighbor
Like
and
a
tell him to
good
bring the tongs.
neighbor.
I didn't think of tongs. I thought it was a really, really good.
Well, you probably
Good
haven't thought through like the plan of what you would do if there was a snake in your house before. Have you?
Oh, I have. I would just pour all of the chemicals I have in my kitchen on it until it died.
Yeah. What is wrong with you? That's a slow and painful death for one of God's creatures.
Sure it is.
I think the snake was the devil in the Bible, so that's not true.
Oh my gosh! One time, speaking of chemicals, there was a spider in our house freshman year.
Yeah.
And it looked huge, and we are like, "What the heck? This is crazy." So we step on it. It was actually a spider with all of its babies on its back.
Oh
You
no,
know
those are the worst.
That's
Yes.
And so the
horrendous.
babies go everywhere. Right? So we're like,
Yes.
"Oh my god, we can't kill them all." Well, it's on tile, so we just got bleach and just put bleach all over the
See?
tile floor to kill all these babies, or we were gonna have a friggin' spider infestation.
You did that to God's creatures?
Wow, man.
That is a demon. When you step on a spider and its babies go everywhere,
I've seen it, yeah.
it's messed up.
Lots of stomping.
I've been there when that's happened before, but it happened at my brother's house. Thankfully, not my house.
Oh.
On carpet.
Oh,
So guess what? You can't find all the
That is
babies.
awful.
oh, that's sick.
You had to move.
That's a level of hell where you're just constantly
really is.
trying to kill spiders, but they're getting lost. Babies are in the
Or
carpet.
you're asleep and something's tickling your head, and you go like this, and it just floods your face.
Oh
with
my
baby
gosh, I was so
spiders.
miffed the other day. I thought I felt a bug go down the back of my pants
Oh,
when I was in the Sam's parking lot. It was very windy. It may have blown into my pants, but it was awful.
Oh,
I
man.
have other details I'm going to tell you guys.
Oh,
I can't
not
wait.
not
It was not good.
podcast appropriate.
I'm about to dunk.
I'm about to dunk.
I'm about to dunk.
Scared money don't make none.
I'm about to dunk.